Firstly, Jesus coming into Jerusalem on the first Palm Sunday was one of the most decisive moments of his life. Here he was going to confront the temple establishment, the religious leaders, so the might of the Roman Empire, who were the colonizers, not colonizers, they were the followers who had taken over. The entry of Jesus into Jerusalem, a bold public entry into that powerful establishment. It's almost a provocation, a taunt. Let me explain something which perhaps I've only learned in the last few years. Jesus came in one gate of Jerusalem. The other gate, probably about the same time, Pilate, old cohort of Roman soldiers, on their horses, the armour burnished by the sun, and as a public display of power. I wanted to remind the power in charge that they, in fact, would not brook any sense of another door, Jesus was coming in on a donkey, being welcomed by the marginalised in Jerusalem. It's almost a wonderful parable, an ironic parable, almost a spoof, in credit to the Chaser boys. The whole idea of bringing power. Since that's the story of Palm Sunday, it also begins this extraordinary week. You and I are invited to again ask ourselves to what extent does that story find an echo in our lives, and enter into the opportunity of celebrating once again the resurrection of Christ at Easter time. It's a powerful story, and it's been beautifully read by members of our community. Let's stand now for our prayers, our presentation. We all have within us these needs of our life that we words. These words are simply models, but the real prayer is the prayer of our heart.
For the growing millions of people displaced from their homeland, that the world community will unite in offering them shelter, safety, and support. Let us pray to the Lord. For Australia, that all engaged in the federal election campaign will uphold the civic rights of truth, respect, and integrity. Let us pray to the Lord. For our parish community, that this holy week will be a time of deep spiritual preparation for the celebration of Jesus' passion, death, and resurrection. Let us pray to the Lord. For the recently deceased, and for those whose anniversary of death occurs around this time, that they will be raised from death to share in the glory of Christ. Let us pray to the Lord. they integrate our enthusiasm to follow Christ. Let's pray together.
Lord, hear our prayer. As has been suggested, let's connect ourselves in compassion with those people who are suffering the weapons of war, being destroyed, being killed, mad invasion of their privacy. All those who are suffering violence in the